Alex here with another Dashcam review. This time we're taking a look at the Wolfbox X5 triple channel dashcam. So we get front camera, rear camera, and a cabin camera, but also parking mode and a very strange feature which I've never seen before, 5K resolution, which it's pretty insane. And on this video, I'm going to show you the contents of the kit as well as walk you through the features of this dashcam. And we're also going to take a look at some driving video that way we can see how well this dashcam actually performs. And as always, I'd like to remind you that I place a link in the description down below to this system in case you'd like to get one for yourself. And for mounting, there is double-sided tape right here. I can peel this back and then I'm gonna center this on a clean windshield. The mount also allows us to adjust the view angle. This is how far it goes in this direction, and this is how far it goes in the opposite direction. Now the front camera also has some level of adjustment, and I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. What's also interesting about this mount is that it allows us to remove the dashcam from the windshield. Now I've seen that before, but I never seen this. Notice how we separated that from the top. I can also separate that from the bottom. Basically, if you want to leave this mounted, then you can just remove the dashcam from the bottom, or if you want to remove the entire thing and just leave this behind, you can remove it like that, and I can always put it back like this. Memory card bay is located on the left hand side, and I love when dashcams do this, when they have a protective cover for it. Now they have already included 128GB memory, but the X5 actually supports all the way up to 512GB of memory. And for power, they have included this automotive adapter, and the adapter has a spare USB port on the back. That way we can power both the dashcam and something else. And the rear camera is meant to be installed on the inside of the vehicle. There's double-sided tape here. I can peel this back and attach it to the vehicle. Also notice that the rear camera does have the ability to turn, and this allows us to adjust the view angle, and it can actually turn completely around. And what it actually enables is this: if I turn this in this direction, notice the mount is facing the front, now I can mount the camera against a vertical surface. And as you can see, we are shown all three views at the same time from all three cameras. However, with the very last button right here, we're able to switch that view, front only, tap one more time, interior, tap one more time, rear camera, and then this screensaver mode, tap one more time, and back to that split view. The button on the left side allows us to take a picture. Then there is a second button right here, and tapping that button is gonna flag and protect the section of the video that is currently being recorded as important in case you wanted to mark it for future viewing. And the third button is gonna be a shortcut to the playback menu, and we'll come back to the screen in a little bit. And because this is a touchscreen, there are additional controls by swiping on the screen, such as swiping down brings up this quick access menu where I can turn off the audio recording or re-enable audio recording. Wi-Fi can also be turned on or off from this menu, including adjusting the volume. And swiping in this direction is gonna change views just like before. It's gonna switch to the interior camera, rear camera, and to the screensaver mode, and then back to the split view. And swiping in this direction is gonna take us to the settings menu, and we'll come back to this in a little bit. And swiping from the bottom is another shortcut that takes us to the playback menu. And the X5 also supports voice commands. Let's test them out. Turn off audio, turn on audio, take picture, lock the video, turn off recording, turn on recording, show rear camera, show front camera. Well, now let's go back into that playback menu. Again, I'm gonna use the third button over here. And what you'll find is that the videos have been sorted out into folders. They have the videos for the front camera, videos for the interior camera, and then videos for the rear camera. Now you also notice that there are 3 folders for each camera. The very first one is video that is potentially normal video, probably nothing exciting happened there. The second folder is for video that may contain a car crash event or anything else that we manually flagged. And the third folder is gonna be for any pictures we taken. Well, now let's go inside of one of the folders, and then you can see on here the different videos, and then you can select that and then hit play to begin to play them back. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this video right here. You'll notice that there are additional controls in the bottom, such as deleting the video or locking it, which protects it from being erased. Now, I did mention that the front camera is adjustable, and that is in addition to the mount being adjustable. And I'm gonna move it so we can see that it does actually allow me to adjust that either to the left or to the right, and also up and down. But also this, it can actually be rotated a little bit to adjust for tilt. Well, now let's go into the settings menu with the very first button, and that's gonna take us to the settings. The very first one is gonna be resolution, and here's where it gets kind of insane. You can run the front camera at 5K resolution, and that disables the interior and the rear camera, but 5K resolution, that's pretty crazy. Now, most people are probably gonna run it on this mode, which is 4K for the front and full high definition for the interior camera and the rear at 2K. Now, there is additional options right here to further decrease the resolution if you wanted to fit more on the memory card. And this dashcam is getting the date and time from the GPS, so it is important to set the correct time zone, otherwise you could potentially end up with the incorrect date or time. Sound recording can also be enabled or disabled, and also if I go down to the next page, we have additional settings such as parking mode. Now, parking mode does require the optional hardwire kit, and if you have the hardwire kit, you can enable G sensor recording, which is impact detection. Basically, if somebody were to impact your vehicle, the dashcam will kick on and record evidence of that event. There is also time-lapse recording in 12 hours, 24 hours, or up to a 48-hour time-lapse recording. G sensor is also adjustable, and this can potentially allow the dashcam to detect when you get into a car crash, and they're giving us the setting of low, medium, or high, or we can turn that sensor off altogether. There is also the screensaver option, and here you can tell the dashcam to go to the screensaver after a certain period of time, and here's what the screensaver mode looks like. Now, when the dashcam is in screensaver mode, it continues to record. Next up is gonna be the voice commands, and here you can choose to enable that or disable that, and you have again the list right here of voice commands that are supported. There's also a fatigue reminder in case you wanted the dashcam to remind you to take a break after a certain number of hours. The rear camera can also be adjusted both in the horizontal orientation and in the vertical orientation. Moving over to the next page of settings, here's where you can control the volume of the dashcam, whether you want the watermark to be on the videos or not. Now, what's also interesting is that this dashcam does support daylight savings time adjustment. Now, this is extremely helpful if you live in a state that observes daylight savings time, because here you can add or subtract an hour by enabling or disabling daylight savings time. The speed unit is also adjustable between miles per hour and kilometers per hour. Moving over to the next page of settings, we get language. And these are the different languages that are included in the dashcam in case you wanted to change it from the default one. And now that I've shown you the main features on the dashcam, let's take a look at the app. And the app is called Wolfbox, and is available for Apple and Android devices. And the X5 actually supports 5 GHz Wi-Fi, so we are seeing a live view coming from the dashcam, and we know we are recording, indicating by that red blinking dot. And also, we wanted to see it larger, we can flip it in this direction, and also tapping on the screen brings up a couple of different icons. This little microphone right here can enable or disable the audio recordings. Microphone is off. The icon right here, which looks like a camera, it does exactly that. It takes a picture. And this icon right here, which looks like a movie camera, is gonna allow us to stop the recording or re-enable recording. You can see in here that says recording stop. Tap that one more time. It's gonna resume recording video. And to access the videos that are on the dashcam, that is done with this icon. Now, what you're gonna notice is that, again, they have sorted out the videos into a couple different folders. The very first folder contains normal video, potentially us just driving around, maybe nothing exciting happened there. The next folder is gonna contain any pictures that we might have taken, and the third folder is gonna contain potential videos of car crashes or videos that we manually flag. Now there is also this select option, and selecting that option allows us to select multiple videos to download them to our phone for safekeeping or to delete them. Also notice that the videos have a small little letter indicating what camera they're from. You can see there's a little F on there indicating front camera, R for the rear camera, and I for the interior camera. And tapping on the video clip begins to play back the video. And I'm gonna go ahead and pause this right here. You'll also notice that there are additional controls in the bottom to download the video to our phone, to take a screenshot, or to delete the video. Now let's take a look at the settings menu with this gear icon. Now you'll find that these are pretty much the same settings that I showed you on the dashcam. Now not all of them are on here. Some of them do require you to do them on the dashcam. So I think they selected the most important ones, or the ones that people are probably gonna adjust the most often, such as enabling or disabling audio recording, adjusting the resolution, or adjusting the G sensor setting. Now that I've shown you the features of the app, let's go take a look at some driving video, including the audio test. That way we can see how well this dashcam actually performs. And this is an audio test of the Wolfbox X5 dashcam, and I am sitting on the driver's side seat. And this is an audio test of the Wolfbox X5 dashcam, and I am standing outside the driver's side door. And in case you're wondering if it makes sense to use the 5K resolution for this dashcam, first off, I like to say that it's pretty cool that they added that option in there, and not a common thing that I see on dashcams, but I think the trade-off is a little bit big. I mean, we're trading off not recording the rear and not recording the cabin, so we're strictly now cutting essentially a 3-channel dashcam to a single channel for just a little bit more resolution. And also running it at 5K means that it requires more processing power, so therefore the frames per second are reduced. And frames per second is what is going to give us the image clarity when you see moving vehicles or things that are moving fast across the dash cam. So when you go from 30 frames per second, which is what you get at 4K resolution, to 25 frames per second at 5K, you're probably gonna see a little bit more of a blur more than you actually benefiting from going to 5K from 4K. Now, sure, it's gonna look super clear if pretty much the image is steady, but as soon as you start moving, 30 frames per second will have an advantage over 25 frames per second. And finally, you gotta remember that the sensor that is used on the X5 is that Sony Starvis Sensor 2 sensor, which is IMX678, and that only supports 4K as a native resolution. So that means going to 5K, probably it's gonna require some type of interpolation. Basically, there is something in the dashcam that can calculate additional pixels to bump that image from 4K to 5K. Now, some people, and this is a little bit controversial, do not like the idea of interpolation because it is assumed that that is fake resolution, that is not real resolution. And I am of the opinion that I also prefer a native resolution. So if I have a 4K sensor that is natively designed for 4K, that is the maximum I'm gonna run it at 4K for the best image quality, in my opinion. And if you're looking to use the Wolfbox app, one of the best things about it is that you don't need to sign up to use it. You don't need a username and you don't need a password. Now, this is big for me because I have tested other dash cams, and some of those apps for those dash cams require you to sign up. And then now you have to remember a username, and now you have to remember a password. And I already have too many of those. I don't need another one that I have to keep track of. And I think for a dash cam app, it doesn't make sense. So big props to Wolfbox to making it like that simple for us to use. And I really hope that they keep it like that for the future. So remember, I place a link in the description down below to the X5 in case you want to look at it further. And if you guys have any other questions regarding that, please put that in the comments down below. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have a lot more dashcam reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.